there YouTube, this is Vargas XX78 with another Tales from the Vargas Vault. I was actually looking through my videos and I realized that it's been a while since I actually did a Vault video, especially one that talks about comic books. So while I was organizing some comic books, bagging them and putting backboards on them, I decided to make a Vault video regarding one of my comic book collections. And this is actually a big endeavor if I decide to do it, to talk about all of my Superman comic books. But in the meantime, I decided to talk about my Superman specials. Now, this box here contains all the annuals that I have from Superman, Action Comics, Adventures of Superman, plus all the other books that feature a special one-shot or a miniseries with the Man of Steel. Out of all the characters that I collect comic books for, Batman is the one that I have the most specials for. So that might be another interesting video to talk about. But in the meantime, I wanted to talk about Superman. So let's get started with this. First one I have here is Superman Annual Issue 2. My main goal is to collect all of the Superman books from the John Byrne reboot to current. So that's why this is not the oldest book I have, but this is Superman Annual 2, featuring the Guardian and the Newsboy Legion. And I have here a Superman Annual for 1991. This is issue 3, during the whole Armageddon 2001 storyline, where Wave Rider is trying to find out what superhero gets corrupted and turns into Monarch. And in this one, it has like the future version of Superman, Batman, the Justice League, and so on. And here I have an Adventures of Superman, same thing, Armageddon 2001, 1991, issue 3. In this one, Lois Lane dies, and Superman takes up Maxima on her offer, so he goes to Almerac and, is with her. This is actually pretty good. Then, 1992 had the Eclipso crossovers. This one, Eclipso was corrupting the superheroes, and Superman here was his target. And in the Adventures of Superman 1, he had corrupted Superman fighting Lobo, guest starring Guy Gardner. This is actually not an annual. This is the Legacy of Superman. When Superman died after his battle with Doomsday, they released this one-shot where it focused on the other heroes, like Wave Rider, Thorn, Gangbuster, Guardian, and I don't remember who this guy was, but they take up the mantle of Superman and try to protect Metropolis. So that's not an annual, I know what's doing there. And during the Bloodlines crossover, this one had the Cyborg Superman fighting the Parasites, and this is actually an interesting plot point that work later on, wherein this karate instructor was working out with Lex Luthor, the Lex Luthor 2, but he got mad because she drop-kicked him and then he killed her. But the Parasites found her, bit her, and then she came back from the dead, which was a main thing for Lois Lane to unmask Lex Luthor. So this annual was actually a very big plot point during the regular Superman book. And we have Adventures of Superman, where they introduced the Sparks character. This whole Bloodline crossover, they didn't really do anything with it. But yeah. And I have this Elseworlds crossover event from 1994. In this one, Superman gets stuck in the jungle. It's kind of like the Jungle Book, where Kal-El falls into the jungle and wolves raise him, and this was very interesting. Again, I'm a sucker for what-if storyline, so thought that was cool. Then the 1996 annual had Legends of the Dead Earth. This is way in the future, and you know, how the legacy of the superheroes from Earth carries on to other worlds and so on. Then we have the year one thing they did in 1995, where Superman teams up for the first time with Dr. Occult, and that's where he finds out that he's vulnerable to magic. Then we have the Pulp Heroes event in 1997. This is back when Superman had his electrical powers. And then the Adventures of Superman. I'm still missing the Action Comics annuals, but I'm working on those. Then this is the Ghosts event that they did in 1998, where Superman is haunted by the three ghosts of the Phantom Zone criminals that he killed. Sod, Ursa, and the other guy. This was actually very interesting because Felix Faust was the one responsible for all the hauntings, so that storyline ended in an annual of Justice League. This is the JL Ape event in 1999, where Gorilla Grodd turns all of the Justice League into gorillas. So that was weird, but also very cool. And this is the Superman annual for 2009. It has a story, the secret origin of Mon-El. This was during the Last Fall of Krypton storyline. And then this is the Action Comics annual. It has a storyline with Flamebird and Nightwing. Now this one I picked up because I love the character of Doomsday. And this is the year one of Doomsday in 1995. This one basically tells how Doomsday was traveling all over the universe before appearing on Earth, how he destroyed civilizations, how he went against the Guardians of the Galaxy. Just Doomsday was just a monster in every sense of the word, and I hope they bring him back somehow in the New 52, because Doomsday and the Cyborg Superman were the best characters that came out from the death of Superman. So I hope they bring him back somehow. Then this is a one-shot from DC Comics Presents that I have during the Crisis of Infinite Earths, and it had Superman team up with the Creeper. It wasn't that good, but it was interesting to see those two characters together. Then I have this Superman special by Walt Simonson, Kryptonite No More, where he turns Kryptonite kind of inert. This came out in 1992. Then in 2002, DC did this DC First, where it reveals secret storylines that had characters interact with other characters for the first time. So in this one they had Superman with the Golden Age Flash. And they had another one with Superman fighting Lobo. And this is one of those Secret Files and Origins books. This is the 2004. And I have the 2005. Then the 80-page Giant from 1999. And the second 80-page Giant in June of 99. And this is the retroactive thing that they did before the reboot, where it had a new story set in like the 70s, and then it reprinted a classic tale from the 70s. This is issue 1. This is issue 2. And issue 3. I actually really liked these. I thought these were cool. This was from the 90s. And I have a crossover here with Superman and Shazam, First Thunder. This is the supposedly the first crossover, or the first meeting between Superman and Captain Marvel. Written by Judd Wittick, art by Joshua Middleton. This was actually pretty awesome. I really like this crossover. That's issue 1, issue 2, and issue 3, and issue 4. This miniseries was actually pretty awesome. Then we have the Superman Doomsday Hunter Prey miniseries. This is the big rematch between Superman and Doomsday, where Doomsday travels to Apokolips. The cyborg Superman also returns, and Doomsday beats up Darkseid, which I thought was amazing. This was an amazing miniseries. This is issue 2, done by the same team that did the Death of Superman, Dan Jurgens and Brett Breeding. And then issue 3. Amazing miniseries, a really good miniseries. Then we have the sequel to that, the Doomsday Wars, where Brainiac actually gets possession of the Doomsday. Something happened to Brainiac, so he loses his body. So he transfers his consciousness to Doomsday. So it has the brute strength of Doomsday with the intellect of Brainiac. So I thought that was also pretty interesting. Doomsday Wars issue 2. And then Doomsday Wars issue 3. The next one they did was a Superman Day of Doom. This is basically just as the anniversary to the death of Superman, and they're taking reports from all the people that were there in the event, how people reacted to the attack of Doomsday and then the death of Superman, and but it's basically just people retelling the events or what they were doing when the whole thing was going down. This was a 4-issue one. This was during the death, the funeral for Superman. And yeah, this was okay. Then I have this huge one-shot called Superman End of the Century, done by Stuart Morton and Joseph Marson Jr. This was really big. It's, I think, one of the biggest one-shot Superman one-shots I have. The story on that one was pretty cool. I don't remember much what happened there. And I have the weirdest Superman crossover I have, Superman Madman Hullabaloo. In this one, Superman and Madman kind of fuse, so they have bits and pieces of each other. But this is issue 1. Then issue 2. I love the artwork from by Mike Elred. Really good artwork. The best thing about this crossover was that. And I just really like this crossover. I wasn't expecting much about it. I picked it up because I kind of heard something from Madman from a Wizard book. So this interests me, and it ended up blowing my mind. A really good crossover. And I have the Superman Savage Dragon crossover, Chicago. Love the artwork there. The cover art. The story was okay. I never really got into Savage Dragon that much, but saw this crossover at a con, so I decided to pick it up. This one I thought was also interesting. It's Superman versus the Terminator, where Skynet travels to Metropolis. They send some Terminators to Metropolis, but this thing escalates when the cyborg Superman gets involved. So it has all the Superman family. Supergirl also is in it, and Skynet and the cyborg Superman just cause chaos and everything. Steel's also in it. Superman travels to the future, and he helps out John Connor. Really good book. And this is Superman versus the Predator. This one wasn't as good. Lois Lane and a bunch of scientists find a Predator ship, and Superman enters the ship, and he loses his powers. There's this gas that kind of makes him lose his powers. It's at issue 2 and issue 3, and there's issue 1. So it's not a real fight between the Predator. Superman has to still survive the Predator, but it's not the best one. If you really want a good superhero crossover with the Predator, track down the first Batman versus Predator. That one was amazing. This one was just okay. Then I have the second one of Superman versus the Aliens. I'm still missing the first one. Heard that one was amazing. In this one, the aliens travel to New Genesis because Darkseid wants to use the aliens against New Genesis. So they have the aliens and the New Gods fighting against the Xenomorphs. So this one wasn't as good. I haven't read the first one, but I didn't think it was that good. Then here we have The Darkness with Superman. Thought when I heard about this, thought it was going to be interesting, and it's a good crossover. It's not the best one, but it's still pretty good. This was a 2-issue thing. Love the covers though. I have Grant Morrison's epic, Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely's epic All-Star Superman. I still can't believe Frank Morrison did this awesome miniseries. It's a 12-issue maxi series, and it's amazing. And what he's doing with Action Comics now, just I don't really like. But if you don't know what happens here, Lex Luthor supercharges Superman with solar radiation, so he's dying. He only has 1 year left to live. So he's trying to, leave things in order before he dies. Here he faces against Bizarro. Travels to Bizarro World. Encounters 2 Kryptonian space people. Love the artwork, love the covers, and then he's fighting here to fix everything. This is the last issue. Then we have before they released the Superman movie, they released this 4-issue prequel thing. This one focuses on Superman, on Martha Kent, on Lex Luthor, and Lois Lane. The prequel books were okay, even though the movie wasn't what I expected. Then I have the first miniseries issue of the Smallville comic book that came out. When Smallville came out, a few seasons after Smallville came out, they decided to release the comic book, and this is the first issue of the regular series. I don't really know how long this series lasted. I didn't pick up all the issues. Picked up issue 2, but it had like a little story, and then it had articles on the Smallville season. And of course I have the Smallville season 11 books. Issue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, featuring Batman. And then this is another really awesome Elseworld storyline where both Jor-El and Lara travel to Earth with baby Kal-El, and they start a family. This was a really cool miniseries. Really like this a lot. Then I have the Amalgam, which is, I still think, one of the best things that ever did. This came out of the Marvel vs. DC comic book mini, where they fused, after 3rd issue, they fused Superman with Captain America to create the Super Soldier, and then they fused Batman with Wolverine. I thought it was amazing. It was a really good idea. This is Wave 2 of Amalgam. This was set during the World War II era. And the last special I got here is Just Imagine Stan Lee doing Superman. This is a thing that they did, I don't remember what year, but they commissioned Stan Lee to reimagine the DC universe. So he did Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, the Justice League, Green Lantern, The Flash. I thought this was really interesting, and I've never seen these books again. I've been to conventions, never seen them before, so I guess people really really want this because I've never seen these books again, and I'm still missing the Wonder Woman one, the Green Lantern one, and a few others he did. So I'm still trying to track down the rest of the Just Imagine Stan Lee books. But yeah, this is my Superman one-shots and specials collection. Like I said, I just wanted to do a Vault video, and especially a comic book video, because I haven't done one of those in a while. So yeah, I'm still missing a lot of the Superman specials. Like I said, I still want that Alien, the first Alien one. And yeah. So yeah, these were the comic books. Thank you all so much for watching, and until I see you all again, this is Vargas XX78 signing off.